Welcome, one and all, whoever may be watching this, part 3, Rosewater. My goodness, 3 videos in a row. Amazing. Please feel free to give these videos a little bit of love. I know the algorithm hates me, and I absolutely hate being like, please like, subscribe, and comment, or whatever the whole, like, spiel is, but, just with the really whacked upload schedule, I'm pretty sure the algorithm is going to be like, no one will know you exist anymore. So yeah, and it also just helps me know if you're enjoying these videos. So let's just jump into it. We've got a laboratory or laboratory to explore, however you want to pronounce it.
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
I've got some more questions about you.
I'm always happy to answer.
Just how did you come to learn about Clark's money?
Not long ago, I got to talking with a feller at the saloon. The whiskey had loosened his lips and he blabbed all about the success of his Aurum claim. But then he told me about how he'd invested most of that Aurum in Clark's research and how he wasn't the only one.
And you're certain these investors won't be wanting their money back?
Can't speak for the rest, but this feller won't. See, his aforementioned loose lips got him into trouble with some other folk. Poor bastard was shot dead in the street.
I see. How'd you and Danny get together?
I was packing up after a run of shows in Quick Point, having a hard time of it. You see, my assistant had up and left a few days prior, so I was flying solo.
Your assistant left? Why?
The showman's life ain't for everybody. I don't fault him for it. Anyhow, Danny comes up and offers to help with the crates. You should have seen him. Eyes wide, hands shaking, downright charming. So Danny gives me a hand and we get to talking. Turns out he's got experience roping and shooting. Even gave me a demonstration. I offered him the job as my assistant on the spot. The rest, as they say, is history.
Enough jabber. Let's push on. Hey, Danny?
Ma'am?
I want to know something about you, Danny.
Okay. Like what?
You and Jake known each other long?
Gosh, that's a good question. I guess it's been about 2 years?
Sounds about right.
Time goes by quick when you travel around as much as we do.
What did you do before becoming Jake's assistant?
Nothing glamorous. I was a stable hand in Quick Point. Life with Gentleman Jake is certainly more, lively.
Have you got any family?
Sure, my parents and older brother live on the coast, near El Presidio. I write them every month. I haven't seen them in a dog's age, though. But Jake's been like family to me, really.
We should get a move on.
Alright, so I'm not quite sure how this game is going to roll as far as people are concerned. So I just thought it might be good to just keep on top of asking people questions just in case we need to know any extra information about them or build any kind of relationship with them.
Guess it shouldn't come as a surprise that the front door is not wide open for us.
It's cool, we got a lockpick. I just have to translate your rhymes.
That's a serious-looking lock.
Way too complicated for these lockpicks.
So, how are we supposed to get in?
Some dynamite, maybe?
Now that's not a bad idea. My old pal Captain Stokes is stationed nearby at Fort Beaumont. He owes me a favor, or two.
Maybe he could give us some high-powered equipment to get inside.
You read my mind, Danny boy. Wouldn't do any harm to take a look around out here first, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we've got all of these things here. But I wouldn't mind exploding it. You know, what's the harm that could happen blowing up a lab? It'll be fine. But also...
Dr. Clark really liked his sarsaparilla. There must be at least 30 empty bottles in these crates.
I once drank 10 bottles of sarsaparilla for a bet.
Did you win?
Well, yes, and no.
But also, couldn't we just break the window? Like this thing that he's looking through right now? Alright, let's pick it up.
Doing some tidying, are we?
We might find some use for these. Come help me. I can't carry them all myself.
Hey, I ain't gonna start belly aching if you want to go around collecting refuse. Might fetch us a few shillings if we sell them back at the Jack of Diamonds.
There you go. And some for you.
Thanks.
In all of those pockets and stuff that you have.
Must take ages for any correspondence to get out here.
Probably beats having to hike into town, though.
Looks like Clark missed his last mail delivery. Seems to be from another scientist.
February 12th, 1850. Dr. Clark, I hope this letter finds you well. Upon hearing news of the reactionary and ignorant ban our leaders have seen fit to impose, my thoughts went to you and your thankless labors in the wilderness. When they hounded you out after the expo, and I wouldn't be surprised if Leroy's cronies sabotaged your display to discredit you, you were undaunted. After enduring such a trying year, I know how much building that lab out there meant to you. A turning point in your fortunes, or so it seemed. Yet I am sure you will persevere once more. One day when rationality again prevails in the halls of government and this silly thing is lifted, I hope to take you up on your offer of a tour. If you've returned to the bosom of civilization by then, all the better. With warm regards, Dr. Roderick Nethersole. P.S. How you managed to rig a TT-180 console to control both your equipment and door mechanisms still baffles me. Mine is destined for the scrapyard.
Alright, there was obviously some kind of hint right there.
Locked up tight.
Whoever closed this place up really didn't want anybody getting in.
This is one of the sturdiest locks I've ever seen.
I think we're gonna need to get creative. The fort stockpile might have something that could help.
I just need to point out though that yes, the door is locked, got a nice little padlock on there, but it's also boarded as well. So that's going to be a bit of a hindrance there when you're trying to pull open a door. Just in my experience, could be different out in the Wild West. The American folks might be able to help me there.
The good doctor was pretty self-sufficient out here.
Okay, I think that's kind of everything here.
Wonder if Dr. Clark boarded these up himself.
Yep, alright. Well, let's, I guess, head to the fort then. It looks like we're blowing this place up. That's the only way to do it.
What are you doing? This is no place for sightseers.
What kind of an accent is that, bro?
We're not sightseers. We're trying to get into the lab. Do you know a way in?
Such disrespect. You toy with forces you do not understand.
The lady asked you a question, sir.
Heed my warning. Stay away from this place. Its mysteries are not for you.
Hey, wait!
Your tinfoil hat!
You forgot your... hat?
What was that all about?
Good question.
That's Dr. Clark, guys. I guarantee it.
Tinfoil. Why was that man wearing it as a hat?
Yes. Wear it. Put it on your head.
This isn't really my style.
Alright. Well, good to know we've got a tinfoil hat. How do we get to the fort?
No sign of that odd bearded fellow. I wonder where he scampered off to.
I reckon we got ourselves bigger fish to fry right now, Miss Leger.
I'm assuming this is the fort. Where's the town? Do we need to follow the railway to get to the town? Anyways. Yeah. I wish I could walk that fast in real life. Jeez.
Hey, look, a show!
What a racket.
She's pretty good, though.
Excuse me? I said, excuse me. Hey!
Caramba, you made me miss. What do you want?
Who are you, and what are you doing out here?
I am Marisol de la Vega, Lieutenant General of the Constitutional Army of New Spain. My compadre is Corporal Eugenio Garcia.
Pleasure. I'm Harley Leger, and these are my associates Jake Ackerman and Danny Luo.
Good to meet you. In answer to your second question, Eugenio and I are practicing our shooting while we wait for our jefe to conclude his business.
Who did you say you were waiting for?
Our leader, General Filomeno Marquez. Surely you've heard of him.
Afraid not.
Híjole, it really is true. Vespuccians don't pay attention to anything unless it happens right in front of their faces. You do not know of the new Spanish Revolution?
Should I?
Ugh.
What about this revolution, then?
I do not have the time or the desire to explain the particulars of our struggle to you. Pick up a non-imperialist periodical if you can find one, and you might learn something.
Do you know anything about the laboratory just over yonder?
That abandoned wreck is a laboratory?
It was at some point.
Clearly, you know more about it than I do.
That's all for now. Happy shooting.
Thanks, gringa.
I have a feeling this game might upset modern audiences.
Vaya. Caramba!
Nobody in sight, but I'm sure there are guards somewhere. Hey, anybody in there?
What is it?
We'd like to come in, please.
More unannounced visitors? Must be my lucky day. What country exiled you?
None. We just want to speak with Captain Stokes.
Afraid he's indisposed.
Why don't you tell Stokes that Jake Ackerman needs a word?
Gentleman Jake?
At your service.
We're not in the market for entertainment. It's like I said. Oh, dad blasted. Would you knock it off with the shooting already? I can't hear myself think!
You call yourself a soldier when the sound of gunfire sets you quivering like a coward? Pathetic.
Look, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
Would you happen to know anything about the lab just over that way?
No, and quite frankly, I don't care to.
I wouldn't be asking to see Captain Stokes if it wasn't important.
I opened the gate for the last person who said that to me today. And what did I get as a reward? His 2 cronies raising hell for the past hour. No, ma'am, not again.
Carry on, soldier.
Right.
Alright, so we need to get them to stop firing their weapons?
That thing has seen some action.
Anda!
Hey!
You again. What is it now?
Say, do you think you could practice your shooting somewhere else?
Why?
The fort guard isn't happy about the noise.
Well, then maybe he should choose another profession.
You're pretty good, but I bet I can beat you at shooting.
I am the best shot in New Spain.
Care to prove it?
Gladly. But a large stationary target such as this is not suitable for a contest. If you wish to challenge me, find some moving targets.
Can we use these bottles as targets?
Indeed, we can. Very well. Prepare to be humiliated.
Say, Jake, could you give us a hand?
My pleasure.
How many bottles are there?
About 30.
Then we will each shoot at 5. Whoever breaks the most wins.
Sounds fair.
I am feeling generous this morning. Would you like the opportunity to practice first?
Yes, please. I've never done this before.
Yes, actually.
Very well.
Ready with those bottles, Jake?
Yep, get ready. Set. Incoming.
I'll get the next one.
This is
Bottle in the air.
actually quite difficult.
You missed.
Bottle in the air.
Damn it.
Bottle in the air.
Nice shot.
Bottle in the air.
You missed. Let us hope you improve very quickly. All right, for real this time.
Ready, set, incoming.
I'll get the next one.
Bottle in the air.
I'll
What
get
the
the next one.
hell?
Bottle in the air.
Damn it.
Here we go.
Pure luck.
Incoming.
You missed. My turn.
Incoming.
Take that.
Here we go.
Take that.
Bottle in the air.
Take that.
Bottle in the air.
Anda.
Here we go.
Caramba. I win. Better luck next time, sweetheart.
Yeah, that was a bit humiliating. We might have to bribe them.
Caramba.
Hey!
You again. What is it now?
What do you say I make it worth your while to go practice shooting somewhere else?
You take me for some common bandit? Mira que cabrona. Keep your coins. And don't insult me again.
That's all for now. Happy shooting.
Thanks, gringa.
So somehow we have to beat them?
Can we talk?
What's on your mind?
How about an encore of your juggling ball trick? Beat that lady at shooting, and we can get her to practice elsewhere.
I see. Not a bad plan, but I make it a point never to perform without a crowd. Ask Danny. He's a good shot, but a little practice couldn't hurt him.
You're good with your gun. What's the best way to hit a moving target?
Oh, well, I find concentration is key. Just visualize hitting the target and you won't go wrong.
Enough jabber. Let's push on.
Anda!
Hey, Danny?
Ma'am?
You said before you were good with your pistols. Think you can teach that show-off a lesson?
It'll be my pleasure. Excuse me, ma'am?
What do you want, boy?
I think I'd like to beat you at that bottle shooting.
Oh, this is gonna be good. All right, kid, let's see what you got.
Why don't you go first? Show me how it's done.
My pleasure.
Ready, set, incoming!
Híjole!
Incoming!
Dale!
Incoming!
Dale!
Incoming!
Damn!
Here we go!
Take that! Let's see you beat that!
Ready, Danny boy?
Yep. Don't worry about the warnings. Just throw.
Don't believe this. Beaten by a chinito de mierda. Eugenio, vámonos de aquí.
She's not a very good sport.
Never mind her. That was some fine shooting.
Sure was. You weren't kidding about being good with those pistols.
It was nothing. But thanks.
Hey, guard!
What is it?
Sure is a nice, peaceful morning, isn't it?
What happened to those cacophonous varmints?
They took their business elsewhere. Now, would you be so kind as to let us in?
So long as you promise to keep it down.
Deal.
Yeah, I can problem solve. I like this game.
Well now, what have we here?
I appreciate your hospitality, Captain, but I must admit I am perplexed by the change in your position.
It's not my position, General Marquez. It's the position of the government of the Commonwealth of Vespuccia. I have some discretion in the execution of my orders, but I'm sure you can appreciate that there's a chain of command.
I am, of course, most grateful for the aid you have rendered in the past. I am sure that your recommendations carry weight with your superiors. If you would be willing to lend your influence in support of our cause.
Perhaps we can speak of this at another time, Mr. Marquez. As I said, I have other concerns to deal with.
Of course. I look forward to our next meeting.
Captain Stokes, you're a difficult man to see.
Ackerman, how the hell are you?
Leave this to me. I'll have Stokes eaten from the palm of my hand.
Good day, Captain. Madam? Just a moment. I have seen you before.
I'm surprised you saw much of anything after that tumble you had.
Ah, of course. The newspaper office. You left me lying in the street.
I'm sorry, but I had things to do.
Ay, por Dios. Is there not one selfless person in this country?
Look, if I see you falling out any more windows, I'll pull out my net. Fair?
Amusing. What's your name, anyway?
Harley Leger. This is Danny Luo, and over there is Jake Ackerman.
Sir?
I am General Filomeno Marquez. Though Filomeno seems to be difficult for you Vespuccians, so you may call me Phil.
Phil it is. Good to meet you.
And you, I suppose. What brings you to the fort?
I didn't actually recognize him as the one who got thrown out the window, but I do like that little reference there.
We're looking for help getting into the abandoned lab back there.
And why might that old ruin interest you, eh?
We were thinking it might make a nice hotel. Just need to spruce it up a bit. Then we can charge folks for rustic desert stays.
Ah, I see. You were attempting to make a joke. In any case, there may be something in there to interest me as well. In fact, I could get the laboratory open so we could both go in, if Stokes were not so stingy with his munitions.
How do you mean?
My specialty is demolitions and explosives. I just do not have any on hand right now. I thought perhaps the captain might once again be willing to assist a fellow warrior in a righteous cause, but...
It's like I told Mr. Marquez, my hands are tied. Much as I'd like to help, I've got enough to worry about with my men missing. In fact, I was just heading out to search, so if you'll excuse me.
Hold your horses, Captain. How about we come with? I'm sure you could use the extra eyes.
It's mighty kind of you, Ackerman. Can't promise it'll be safe, though. We'll be going near native territory.
Come on, Stokes. You forget who you're talking to? I laugh in the face of danger. We'll ride with you.
Your friend is quite the braggadocio, no?
That's Jake for you. As colorful as they come.
You're all in, then?
Apparently so.
I will accompany you as well.
Sorry, who are you?
Y'all can get acquainted on the trail. Let's get going. Sun's almost up. Appreciate y'all coming out with me. Strength in numbers and all that.
Our pleasure, Captain.
Exactly who is it you're looking for?
My first lieutenant, John Mulberry.
So when did your man go missing?
He left leading the patrol last evening and they never returned. I just hope the natives didn't get him. Things have been a bit tense of late.
On the subject of missing people, did you ever cross paths with Dr. Bennett Clark?
The Mad Doctor? No, ma'am. My man and I steered clear of him. Used to be we'd see strange lights and hear weird noises coming from his lab. Don't know what he was up to out there, but it weren't natural.
You been stationed at Fort Beaumont long?
Nearly 4 years now. For the most part, it's a fairly quiet post. Of course, Rosewater's nearby and usually good for a diversion.
On that note, I'd be honored to have you at my show, Captain.
Ah, yes. Soon enough, Ackerman.
What makes you believe the natives are behind Mulberry's disappearance?
Our patrol perimeter goes close to their village. Wouldn't be the first time we've come to blows over boundaries. They fall back once they see our superior firepower. Thankfully, they haven't got guns, but they've been getting mighty bold lately.
So you're saying they've gotten aggressive when you've gone near their land? Sounds to me like they're just defending themselves.
Mr. Leger, with all due respect, you've no idea what you're talking about. We've already given these folks an inch, but they have taken a mile. The government's tried appeasing them with treaties and such, but those ain't worth the paper they're written on. You'd sooner reason with a coyote.
Well, I think... Ah!
Engines!
So far, we have been stymied in our efforts to search Clark's laboratory. Captain Stokes let out a search patrol, and he let all us supplicants tag along. But it wasn't enough to deter the native war party that ambushed us. Stokes slipped the trap laid for him, leaving us four to stand in his stead. Now we await intelligence of our captors and some sign of our fate.
Well, isn't this a fine turn of events?
I just feel the need to say that I do not condone anything that has been done to First Nations people. This game has obviously taken a wild turn out of PC territory. And, you know, it is what it is, and the past is the past, history is history, all that jazz. But just, I guess, trigger warning from this point forwards, maybe? I don't know.